Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mo, and today we're going to talk about the brand new Perigale Prime. This is a weapon I made a video about a while back that I said, this thing is going to be a Prime monster, and I think it delivers on that promise. So first things first here is we can see the base stats, a very strong critical lineup with 32 and 2.6x. It's very, very good. Also, one of the big improvements this has over the default Perigale is the higher magazine capacity, which is really, really important because of its the unique trait of it is the whole reason you use the gun is Gale Force is landing a headshot kill or 4 headshots in one burst. Grants 100% ammo efficiency for 4 seconds, plus 24 ammo maximum when wielded by Varuna. Super, super nice. Absolutely love this because it makes this thing into essentially the primary version of the Nell. Without all the bullshit, the Mickey Mouse stuff that you have to do to, make it good and make it playable. This thing just absolutely tears through crowds on its own once it gets its ramp up going. Again, it is like a rapid fire sniper because again, you just have a bottomless clip. You chew through enemies, and this is the build we will be going with. This is based. The polarities are based on what I have as a Riven. You can obviously go a lot lighter on this if you so wish. Like primed cryo rounds is not necessary. Hammer shot can probably be vital sense. You can go a lot lighter on this. Galvanized scope isn't even necessary. I just like this because it hits 100% crit chance. That's super nice to have. And again, especially because you are going to be scoping, you're going to be shooting this thing a lot. That is a really nice boon. I personally go with Wildfire on this build because I really, really like the 20% magazine capacity. That gives it an extra 3 magazines in the clip. And when you are shooting this thing, every single bullet in the magazine counts because it just means you have to reload a lot less. And I find that this really, really helps with that. So I've decided to go with that. It's not necessary though if you don't care about that. If you mind eating the 3-second reload, because that thing is rough. The alternative, I believe, is magnetic capacity. That's 40% in the clip. That will get you 22 in the clip, which is significantly a lot more. But again, I don't think that's necessary. Also, not really a lot of space for that unless you cut something. Like, you could maybe swap galvanized scope for that if you don't really care about the crit chance that much. And you want a little bit more of a comfortable use with this thing. You don't want to have to, like, worry about reloading and hitting your headshots. Because that is what this thing does demand, is it does demand you are able to hit your headshots, which, again, not hard. It is a scope-in sniper. It basically hands you that on a silver platter. And if you do have a Riven for this thing, which I would imagine the Rivens can't be that expensive right now, like I said, I have always been a proponent of, I think that Rivens should absolutely be considered when showcasing a build, especially if the Riven is cheap. It is not an option for everyone, I get that. But I think that a lot of times, especially nowadays, Rivens are more accessible than they have ever been in Warframe's history. And I would like to advocate that people should start genuinely considering them a part of normal builds now. Not necessarily what they are, but just having a Riven usually is going to be a significant stat boost, so it may change how you build things. This is what I have on mine. Mine is just crit chance, crit damage, minus slash. Very solid, very simple. Gets me over the 100% crit chance mark. Lets me be like a little bit more flexible with my build. Lets me get vital sense in here. Huge, huge crit damage multiplier. Again, that 2.6 is putting in a lot of work. And I am a huge fan of it. Like I said, I really like this weapon. Not something I think I would take just because it the one thing about this thing is it does it's kind of a solo play weapon. You're really like this can work just fine in multiplayer, but I think it really shines as a solo player's weapon because it can carry DPS by itself. It is that strong. When you have the blast procs from this thing, which is going to be happening constantly because of Crux. That's another thing. Crux also helps you really maintain your magazine capacity. Really, really helps with that. And that 300% status chance is going to make... So you're just guaranteed blast, basically, and that's super nice. Makes it so that you are just clearing rooms out with this thing. And we will go to the room test here real quick. I don't know, I'm old-fashioned, I'm a boomer, I like my heavy gunners for my test. As you can see, those blast procs do a lot of damage. It's not as visible how effective it is here because they do get very spread out from the blast procs. But when they're in smaller groups, you will be seeing the effectiveness of this weapon. And like I said, even if it's not doing the AoE, it's still a very solid, like, sniper weapon. Like, it still does what a sniper is supposed to do pretty efficiently, I would say. That was like 1-2 bursts. Like, yeah, that was just like 2 full bursts, and it takes down these heavy gunners. So very, very effective in that, and that anything around it is going to be taking significant damage as well. So I am just a huge, huge fan of how this weapon functions. But now I will see you all in the survival test as well, because I'd like to showcase it there as well. That is where this weapon absolutely shines. Alright, we are here at Mott to showcase the field test of this thing. Find wherever the enemy starts spawning. And like I said, you will really see the effectiveness of those blast procs here once we kind of get into it. Always make sure to hit that first headshot so I can just start going here. You'll see them drop like flies. The punch through of Shred, I think, really, really helps it out here. So then it not only getting the headshots, you're hitting what's behind them. That's more blast procs, that's more AoE. All around good shit. You see, they all just kind of pop up like that when you hit them all. I do not have a companion with me as well, just to, you know, keep the test pure, quote-unquote. I usually don't like to take companions into tests when I'm doing the field, or in the Simulacrum even, because I really like having raw damage numbers in my face. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but that's just very much a personal preference for me. I don't like having outside factors or buffs when I'm, like, looking at how good a weapon performs by itself. Because even if those buffs are going to be there 99% of the time, it just creates a more controlled testing environment. Downside of not having a companion, though, is that I, don't have a vacuum, but oh well, who cares? I'll cry about it. I'm still getting so much life support that I don't even need to, like, really be rushing. That guy is, like, ethereal. He's just not taking those headshots. Yeah, it basically one-taps most of the trash mobs, and the blast procs tend to clear up everything around them, if they are close enough. Like I said, you can very clearly see with the life support, it's got plenty of the ability to carry itself. Like I said, that's always down to, you know, finding the right tile. But again, super strong as, like, a solo DPS weapon. If you know, you play by yourself more often than not. You have, like very good for, like, weapons platform warframes, I'd imagine. I'm sure Araxia could get plenty of use out of this thing. Home as well, if you're so inclined, since she does like having headshots. Like I said, you can see I have, like, barely reloaded at all. Actually, I don't think I've reloaded once since starting the mission, and we are, what, like 3 minutes in? So that really shows you how much, like, that ammo management stuff, like Crux and having the extra bullets in the chamber really do help with managing that. Because, like, if you do happen to, like, go a streak with, like, missing your headshots, then, like, you have... Oh, see, there we go. We finally had to reload. What, like 3 minutes, 20 seconds into the mission? Oh, and sometimes you just don't hit your headshots at all. That's on me. You don't get that passive going. You're not able to chain it fast enough. Then that is something that you just kind of have to deal with. And a 3-second reload. And also, very good for Acolytes as well. See that? That just ate most of his health with just a single burst down there. Eats Acolytes alive. Not a single problem to be mentioned. Yeah, no life support problems, really. Just gotta go and actually find them. Like I said, obviously you're sitting here, you're scoped in, you're pretty immobile, so like, if you are using this, you obviously do want to take a frame, you know, that doesn't really care about getting focus fired on, like, or needs to, yeah, so like I said, weapons platform, Araxia, super good. Kome could get use out of this, I'd imagine. Naros, obviously. Nidus probably as well coming up here. Although I'd imagine he's going to be a lot more caster-focused coming up now that his abilities actually do work. And like I said, Rivens are absolutely not required for these builds, but I personally think that because Rivens are so cheap these days, and just so accessible in general, that it is worth considering in builds, at least considering. And I think that this is one of the weapons where I would definitely place it high up on that list of consideration. Because I've always been a proponent of at least using Rivens to get yourself over that 100% crit chance. Because there is a big difference between, like, you know, having over 100% and not, because it means that, oh, now there's suddenly a point where your crit damage will just be a stat that doesn't exist, like 20% of the time, you know? And, like, that just doesn't feel great on DPS. But that is all. I hope you found this informative and helpful, and have a wonderful evening.